It is Thanksgiving week here on AG, the channel, and coming off of what was a spectacular Thanksgiving 500 yesterday on Thanksgiving Day, we arrive here tonight for race number 15 of the Turkey Hill Truck Series season, and I'm sure we are definitely in for quite the interesting race here tonight. We got 4 races left to go in the season, and the championship battle is still going strong, as after winning his first race of the season last time out at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, Matthew Hubert extends his points lead, but Andrew Williams was right on his tail there pretty much the entire race, came home in the second position, minimized the damage done from Matthew Hubert. He comes into this race only 16 points behind, so Hubert with a little bit of a cushion, but if something does go wrong, Andrew Williams is definitely going to be there to pounce. And definitely have a lot of other drivers on the outside looking in, looking to potentially try and squeeze their way in here as we head into the final 4 races of the season. Like I said, we are here at the Chicagoland Speedway, a very interesting racetrack and definitely a very technical racetrack for these drivers. Definitely going to be really interesting to see how it all ends up shaking out here tonight under the lights here in the Windy City. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome to race number 15 on the 2025 Turkey Hill Truck Series season. Welcome to the Menards 225 here at the Chicagoland Speedway. What's going on, everybody? Caleb here, and welcome to the Menards 225 here at the Chicagoland Speedway. Race number 15 of 18 here on the 2025 Turkey Hill Truck Series season. Aforementioned, just got 4 more races left to go here in the season. Here tonight from the Chicagoland Speedway. Then next week we have Martinsville, Talladega the week after, and then we head to Homestead to crown a champion on Christmas Day a couple of weeks from now. Actually, a month from now exactly, as of the time recording this. It's definitely going to be interesting to see how the championship will play out. It's been a spectacular battle to watch all season long, especially with all of the parity and everything that we saw in the early parts of the season, but that is definitely kind of toned down a little bit here as we head into the later stages of the season. Our stars really start to shine, and we're seeing 2 big stars so far this season up at the top of the standings going at it right now. Matthew Hubert and Andrew Williams, they have been bad fast all year long, and despite Hubert only winning his first race of the season last week, that 52 has been up at the front of the field a lot so far this season, and he's had race winning pace in a lot of these races, so it's pretty much just a matter of when, not if, that 52 would go to victory lane. But Andrew Williams is not out of this fight just yet. He has been hot on the heels of this 52 machine after he took the points lead. It's definitely going to be really fun to see who ends up walking away with that championship. But we still got 4 more races left to run, and we are here tonight to run one of those races here at the Chicagoland Speedway. Joining alongside me up here in the booth is a man who has joined me for a lot of these races so far this season. He has seen how this is all played out and how interesting these final races can be. Matt Tugg joins me alongside once again. Thank you so much for joining me alongside here tonight. And like I said, we have seen a very crazy championship battle so far throughout this season, especially between Matthew Hubert and Andrew Williams. But this race, like I said, could be pretty technical. The Chicagoland Speedway, a very interesting racetrack. And tonight, grip is going to be one of the main names of the game that these drivers are going to be looking for. Grip is few and far between at this racetrack, so they're going to be moving all over this racetrack, bottom to top. And it's definitely going to be interesting to see how this race will play out. It's going to be a track where we really see the stars shine here tonight. But what are you expecting here tonight from the Chicagoland Speedway? How are you expecting this championship picture to potentially play out? And what are you looking for out of your drivers, Rogel Dorn and Blaine Keys, who, as of right now, are the 2 reigning winners here at this racetrack?
Well, I mean, on that front, I mean, to win the race, we must first start the race. So it should be fun, having the guys who've won the last 2 trips here, the Truck Series. The 2 trips the Truck Series has made in the rating era, I might add. Just to throw a little cake on that. But, yeah, it's been a very interesting title fight. And I think I said, like IRP, I don't remember when, that this was the way that this is panned out, it was gonna come down to who's gonna get hot in the last 4 or 5 races. And I think you can definitely say that while there are guys who still are in the mathematical hunt, the 2 hottest trucks on the track start first and third tonight. So if you want to have a shot to go win this championship and you're not those first two guys on the inside lane, you're going to need to step up to the plate here tonight and have a really big night. Luckily, I have two guys who work for me who are capable of doing that, so we shall see how this goes for the top two in the points. But it's going to be a fun one here tonight at Chicago. Always, I think a track that gives us a better truck race than a cup race, to be honest. So I'm quite excited for this.
It's definitely going to be a very interesting and fun night here from the Chicagoland Speedway. And like you mentioned, you were talking about earlier on in the season, it's going to be who gets hot at the right time, and I think Hubert has definitely picked the perfect time to get hot there in that 52. He has been on fire these past couple of races, but like I said, Andrew Williams, he's been hot pretty much about this entire season and has stayed consistent all season long, and that's definitely proving to have worked out in his favor as he right now comes in the thick of the championship battle. And yeah, like we're talking about, these two heading into this week even are still riding that momentum as Andrew Williams, that momentum's going to carry him to the pole position here tonight from the Chicagoland Speedway, but Matthew Hubert starting right behind him there in that second row in the number 52. So these two have pretty much been inseparable ever since the latter half of the season has begun, and it's going to be really interesting to watch how these two race here tonight. And everybody else, for that matter, because we still got a race win here to decide here tonight. And it's definitely going to be really interesting to see how that will play out as well. But regardless of the fact, it's going to be a very fun race here tonight from the Chicagoland Speedway. Got 38 laps ahead of us. Should have a pit window in there somewhere as well. Probably around lap 26 to 31. Got quite a wide pit window here at the Chicagoland Speedway. But that'll definitely be a really interesting factor to watch out for there as well. But really quickly, before we get this race underway and get these guys rolling off, we'll take a quick look here at your point standings coming into the 15th race of the season. As before mentioned, Matthew Hubert comes into this race your points leader by 16 over the 11 of Andrew Williams, 30 back to the number 24 of Duncan Ward, 37 back to the 25 of Aaron Abel, and 49 back to the 05 of Isaac Nichols, who might have had a bit of an issue or something during qualifying. He starts at the back of the grid here tonight, so he's definitely got a bit of a hole to dig himself out of there if he wants to try and stay in a potential shot at potentially getting this championship. Looking further on down the standings, though, Tyler Jericho comes in 6th in the standings, 51 points back. Blaine Keys comes in 7th, 55 back. We have a tie for 8th between Nicholas Samudio and Nathan Stapleton. They're both 61 points behind, and Joe Rutkowski currently rounds out your top 10 in points, 67 points behind our point leader, Matthew Hubert. Like I said, we've seen a lot of shakeups so far throughout this season, but these past couple of weeks, our top 3 or 4 in the championship battle has stayed pretty stagnant, so undoubtedly these have been the drivers to watch out for so far this season, and they're definitely going to be drivers to watch out for here tonight. And it's definitely going to be interesting to see how this race plays out in that matter, and how these championship points will shake up after everything is said and done here from the Chicagoland Speedway. But I think that's just about enough yapping for me. I think it's about time we let the drivers do the talking here tonight from the Chicagoland Speedway. Let's get these guys rolling off here from a Menards 225, and as they do, we'll take a quick look here at your starting lineup here for the Menards 225 here at the Chicagoland Speedway. Of course, as forementioned, on the pole position, it's the number 11 of Andrew Williams there in that Broke Boys Garage Ford, starting alongside that Celsius Team Velocity Ford of Ruggles Dorn. Row number 2, we find the number 52 of Matthew Hubert, starting alongside, how about that 67, Thomas Troxel. He has really had his fair share of struggles so far this season. Nice to see him there with that 4th place qualifying effort. Row number 3, we have the number 43 of Emily Dibonetti, starting alongside the 25 of Aaron Abel. Row number 4, it's the number 1 of Blaine Key, starting alongside the 10 of Logan Williams, and rounding out your top 10, they got the number 24 of Duncan Ward, starting alongside the number 61 of Nathan Stapleton. Matt, I gotta ask you here, who is your pick to go to victory lane here tonight, here from Menards 225 here at the Chicagoland Speedway?
Well, what'd you say? I have the 2 guys who have won here in the rating era. I'll take it. I'll take him to keep it that way, and give me Blaine Keys in the 1 truck. I think he's about due for a victory here, and what a great time it would be to get his first win of the season.
Absolutely, Keys is still more than due for a victory here this season. Like Hubert, he has also shown race-winning pace on a multitude of occasions, just hasn't been able to seal the deal quite yet. But I think this is definitely a track that could suit Keys' favor. I'd definitely watch out for that one car here tonight. It's definitely going to be interesting to see how this race plays out after 38 laps. But here we go. The pace truck's going to make the left-hand turn onto the pit lane. And it's going to be Andrew Williams and Rogel Dorn who's going to lead us to the green flag. We're racing here under the lights. Here in the Windy City, we're green here in the Menards 225 here at the Chicagoland Speedway. Off of turn number 4, got a lot of movement throughout the field, but Andrew Williams holds on to lead lap number 1. We got 3 wide, quite a few rows deep here back here. Tyler Jericho on that inside line trying to make his way through the field here early on. They're going to stay 3 wide, quite a few rows deep here as they head down the back straightaway up back towards the front.
Oh
Keys
my.
is going to put Dibonetti in a Team Velocitar sandwich.
Woo!
Dibonetti has to check up a lot there through the center of the corner. And how about Keys now up into the 3rd position already? And that number 1 machine followed by his teammate, the 2 of Rogel Dorn. But Matthew Hubert in the 52 has cleared for the 2nd position here early on and already trying to give chase to that 11 of Andrew Williams, who fired off really well there off of the start. And pretty much behind these top 5 or so, we got a lot of battling going on here at this racetrack. Logan Williams all over the back bumper of the 24 of Duncan Ward trying to find a way around. Roberto Crown Jr. and Philip Torres having a good run to start this race out. They're up here as for the race lead. Once again, it's our 2 championship contenders as Hubert and Williams go side by side.
Yeah, that was a great run from Huber there. That was unbelievable 3 wide overtake on Blaine Keys. I have never seen a Chicagoland race of this version this aggressive, and here we go. 9th to looking for 2nd here in just 4 laps. He's going to get to the inside of Andrew. He's got his teammate Rogel. They're working together beautifully early on here. I don't know what has changed here with the track or if the trucks are just that different this year. They are flying around this racetrack. They are eating up that bottom lane. Great racing here early on, but put Blaine Keys. Here comes number 1 looking to put his name back on top here.
Keys now up into the 2nd position in that number 1, 3 wide behind once again. Dibonetti getting stuck in the middle between Troxel and Aaron Abel. Again, nice to see Troxel in that 67 up here towards the front of the field. He's had a lot of struggles so far throughout this season, but we know that truck has been fast. And speaking of fast trucks, Blaine Keys has got one here tonight as he's now taking the race lead away from the number 52 of Matthew Hubert here as we head down the back straightaway and into turns 3 and 4. Hubert has a really good run, though, through the center of the corner. Might try to cross him over, and he does just that down the front stretch. Huge move out of the 52 of Hubert, and we're side by side once again here for the race lead.
And then Andrew Williams and Rogel Dorn are just sitting there picking their moves. Who do they want to draft with? Williams is going to go with Hubert. Dorn's going to line up behind him for the moment. He might go up to the top with his teammate Keys, though. That top lane is not looking too good here tonight, as now Keys is going to get put in a little bit of a sandwich. Oh, he's going to rip a huge run, though, off the top. Might be able to keep it side by side. Unbelievable action here in just the first 7 laps here at Chicagoland. And now look at Thomas Troxel. He's cleared. He's watching 4 GRT trucks, and he says, I want to join this fight. And he is on a heater here, moving his way up early.
Still side by side up here for this race lead. Like I said, these guys are going to be searching for grip all over this racetrack, and Keys has definitely found some on that outside lane. As Keys will stay clear for the race lead. Great stuff there out of the 1 machine. Hubert didn't get the run that he wanted on the inside, and that's going to open up the door for Andrew Williams to get back down to the inside. Thomas Troxel is up here in this battle for the 2nd position. So is Emily Dibonetti. Good run going so far for that 43 truck. Stapleton, the 61, also up here, as well as the 25 of Aaron Abel. Side by side through turns 3 and 4 is Williams and Hubert. along with Troxel and Dorn. But out front, it's Blaine Keys trying to pull away with the race lead while they fight for second behind him. Hubert's going to clear here for the moment and will clear as we head through turns 1 and 2. Rogel Dorn looking to try and maybe get a run here on the outside of Andrew Williams. Troxel peeks to the inside of the 2 machine, looking to maybe try and follow with the 11 of Andrew Williams. Almost opened the door there for the 61 of Nathan Stapleton, but managed to slot in front of that 61. That 67's definitely got some speed here tonight under that Heartland Enterprises Toyota. Troxel might definitely be someone to watch out for. How about this 01 of Crown Jr. trying to make a big move to the inside. Didn't quite get the grip there, though. Going into one and had to check up big time there. It's going to open up the door for Duncan Ward, Logan Williams. How about Bryce Egan in the 28 up here trying to battle for a spot in the top 10, as is the 97 of Tyler Jericho. 3 wide once again. Back here for, I believe, the 6th position was Stapleton, Dibinetti, and Aaron Abel. Out front, though, it's still the number 1 of Blaine Keys, though. He's trying not to look back ever since he got the race lead, but he might have to start looking back because that number 52 of Hubert is trying to close in. We know he's got a fast truck and trying to follow the 52 in tow, as he usually always does, is the number 11 of Andrew Williams, not letting that 52 get away from him.
Yeah, and I mean, this is a really strong showing for all of our folks, you know, at GRT who build the chassis for these trucks, or build the chassis for second and third, and, you know, do a lot for first and fourth, and, you know, they really come out to play on this type of racetrack and showing it once again here. I mean, Blaine Keys won here in the chase. Matthew Hubert, if I remember correctly, in the chase, he had a good run here, and he had a good run here last year as well, in the Cup Series. So, you know, you're seeing some guys who we know have some great success here, and boy, oh boy, what a wild race this has been here. The bottom line's been much more prevalent here, and it looks like, I mean, these trucks have got some massive grip, because you can see when they come off of the corners, they are much more squiggly than they have been in years past, but really exciting stuff here, and oh, they're getting, oh my, oh my,
oh boy, we got a huge battle going on back here for the 4th position on back. Stapleton looking to try and take that spot away in the 61. He's got 3 wide in his mirror with both the Renegade Gutierrez trucks and Thomas Troxel in the 67. They're getting real bunched up back here, and you need to be careful because these guys can get really bunched up. That could potentially bring forward the circumstances for a caution flag. They remain 3 wide off of turn number 4. Duncan Ward, Bryce Egan almost making contact there off the corner, but Ward will clear the 28 here for the time being. They're going to fan it back down to 2 wide here for the time being, but we got a big battle going on back here now for the 6th position, as Dibinetti has taken 5th away and is starting to try and pull away from this battle. But Matthew Hubert, he's slowly chipping into the lead of that 1 of Blaine Keys, lap after lap, just trying to close in. And his 52 is definitely fast here tonight as well. He's been one of the faster trucks so far this season, but so has Keys. Like I said, Keys has shown race-winning pace on a multitude of occasions, just hasn't been able to seal the deal quite yet, but it's been long overdue for Blaine Keys. Could that race win finally be coming here tonight? He is definitely going to have to fight for it, that's for sure. Top 3 has kind of pulled away from the rest of the field right now. Dorn right now 2.3 seconds back to his teammate of Blaine Keys, and he's got a gap built up back to the 43 of Emily Dibinetti, who's currently under fire from the 61 of Nathan Stapleton. Looks like the battle back here has kind of calmed down a little bit as they've started to spread out just a little bit. Taking a look through the field, still got a lot of interesting battles going on. Jaretkowski all over the back bumper of the 93 of Jack Haas. Got Philip Torres and Bruno Diacomo side by side ahead of them. Taking a look, there's the 05 Isaac Nichols, who started from the back of the field here tonight. Already see where he has made his way up to the 26th position here so far. So a little ways left to go for the 05 Isaac Nichols, but he has definitely made some significant progress there in that Chicagoland Racing Enterprises Ford. Taking a look back up front here, Keys has been pulling away a little bit those last couple of laps. He saw that 52 get within about 0.2 of a second and has really started locking in, as now he's trying to pull away with this race lead, and Hubert starting to fall into the clutches here of the 11 of Andrew Williams, who's trying to close in for the second position.
Yeah, I mean, Blake Keys came into this race 55 points out of the lead. Obviously, the only way to make a big gain here is to win. But it's still some impressive speed, and I mean, if you get on a, if say he were to win out, which is obviously hard with Talladega, but say if he were to win out, I mean, he could definitely throw himself in contention here. So, but I will say, we talked a while ago about the parity in this series, and there's been a lot of parity in this series, but the one thing that we have not seen in the parity department is these two wavering, and they have been excellent all season long. The numbers back it up. The pace has been monstrous. I mean, they're 4 seconds, 3.5 seconds ahead of Rogel Dorn, and 6 seconds back to the first non-GRT truck. So I mean, shout out Matthew Huber and shout out Andrew Williams, because they've been excellent all year, and it's coming to Fro at the right time. Everything is firing on all cylinders, and it is very close here between them. So, just 3 races to go after tonight. One of them being Talladega. There's no margin for error for either of these two. And this is going to be an excellent, excellent title fight between two drivers, two teams, Broke Boys Garage and Durrani Racing. And Durrani Racing, but actually I don't have that up in front of me. But these two teams are also battling in the Constructors, so is Blake Keys and Rogel Dorn, so there's a lot of championship stuff on the line here with the outcome of tonight's race.
Absolutely. It's been so much fun watching all these drivers so far throughout the season, but especially is 52 of Matthew Hubert and the 11 of Andrew Williams, with just how fast they have been week in and week out, how consistent they have been, and it's coming full circle here for these two as we head into the later parts of the season, with these two going at it for the championship lead. And right now, Matthew Hubert in the 52 looking to try and continue to lead the way as he currently runs in the second position. Like you mentioned, Blaine Keys is a little ways out from championship contention. However, if he can get things to go his way these next couple of weeks, he could maybe still make a charge. It would definitely take a lot considering how well this 52 and 11 has done. But still, you can never count out that. You can never count out Blaine Keys. Have to see how he does these next couple of weeks, but has really come to play here tonight from the Chicagoland Speedway as he continues to hold on to this race lead, continues to maintain a solid gap back to the number 52 of Matthew Hubert and the 11 of Andrew Williams. These top three, my goodness, these guys have checked out from the rest of the field. Rogel Dorn now about 5.5 seconds back in that 4th position. Got Emily Divinetti in the 43 still holding on to the 5th position, and this battle back here is starting to reignite once again. Have to keep an eye on these guys, but on to lap number 26. Windows should be open if guys want to try and pull an extreme undercut on the rest of the field. Have to see if anyone does elect to come down pit road, but wouldn't expect most of these guys to come down till probably around lap 30. Once these guys do come down, it'll be a short sprint to the finish here from Chicagoland. It's definitely going to be interesting to watch for. But Matthew Hubert closed in quite a lot there to the one of Blaine Keys. Don't know if he had a bad turns 1 and 2, but it was right there on the back bumper through 3 and 4. But unfortunately, Hubert didn't have the best 3 and 4 there and lost a bit of ground to the one of Blaine Keys. But Keys looking to potentially try and lead the way as we head into the pit cycle, because that definitely gives him a bit of leeway to pretty much does whatever he wants to do here on this pit cycle. Doesn't look like anyone has come down quite yet. But it's definitely going to be interesting to see what everybody does elect to do here under this pit cycle. And, I mean, if you're in Blaine Keys' shoes, what do you do here under this pit cycle to potentially set yourself up in a spot to hold off this 52 and 11?
Well, I'm going to throw it back to Nashville in the Cup Series this year, which is the last time that I can recall 4 drivers just putting BTA to this level. You know, it was one on pit road when the PDE guys just nailed the pit stop, and the 51 team was a little off the mark. So it's going to come down to how these margins are. If they all come down the same lap, or if they're all doing two tires, which would negate undercut advantage. If they all go two tires, you know, it's going to come down to, you know, not making a mistake and being clean on pit road. If you're going four tires here, I mean, you want to be the first guy down pit road. But visually, I'm not seeing a whole ton of tire dig here tonight. Could be very wrong in that, but you can still see the trucks look pretty planted in the corners. But this is going to be a fun pit stop cycle here. Lots on the line, especially for the second and third place runners here. And I mean, maybe we'll see if somebody here rolls the dice, comes down, pits for four, gets a big undercut, you know, makes a big run through the field. But utter domination from the top three. I mean, they are 7 seconds in front of Rogel Dorn, who has the same truck essentially that Blaine Keys does, which means the next truck that's not identical. Oh, here we go. Here we go. We're splitting it for the win. Andrew Williams, hello.
Blaine Key's going to pit here on lap 31. Looks like everyone's going to kind of be stretching it long here, but we finally got our first couple of trucks coming down pit lane, but Keys leads the field down, and Andrew Williams is going to elect to go with him. Hubert stays out on the racetrack, looking to try and get the fresher tires, but this could definitely be really, really interesting. There goes Keys and Williams into their pit stall, and there goes the 43 of DeBenetti out of the pit lane. Now here comes Hubert in the 52 here on lap 32. Here comes Rogel Dorn, and I'd imagine pit road is probably going to be a busy place here on lap 32. Bryce Egan in the 28 going to stretch it really long there, as well as Rutkowski and Jack Haas. But we'll definitely have to see where everybody does come out. Blaine Keys in the 1 is quite far ahead of the 11 of Andrew Williams, so I have to see how that ends up shaking out. But yeah, pit road very busy here on lap 32. Watch and see a couple guys making contact there on the pit lane. There's the 52 of Matthew Hubert pulling out of the pit lane there. It's like a good stop there from that 52. Have to see where he does blend back into the racetrack. There's the 1 of Blaine Keys coming through turns 1 and 2. There's the 11 of Andrew Williams far back there going through turns 1 and 2 right now. Keys will overtake the 52 of Matthew Hubert, but we'll have to see what Andrew Williams can do. He's got a full head of steam here as we head into turns 3 and 4. But it looks like that 52 of Hubert might have a solid gap built up. Have to see if he can hold on to it as he gets his tires warmed up. Everybody coming off the pit lane here. There's the 24 of Duncan Ward.
What?
He did make some contact on the pit lane, so I don't know if he maybe tried some strategy here or is just now falling a lap down in the number 24. Have to see what timing and scoring says. There's the 61 of Nathan Stapleton as well. He's got some damage in the 61, so I think he might have made some contact on the pit lane as well. Oh boy. Hubert maybe having to take some evasive maneuvers there on the 24, going around the outside, and yeah, Keys holds on to the race lead, and yeah, the 24, Duncan Ward, made some contact there on the pit lane. That's a slow stop for the 24. He is now a lap down. That's not good for Duncan Ward, coming in third in the championship, 30 points behind. That's definitely not the night that Renegade Gutierrez driver wanted there.
No, unfortunately, I mean, that's kind of, with how these top three are running, that's kind of a deal sealer unless some things go very much in his favor, and I hate to tell Duncan Ward, I don't think that's going to happen the way this is going, but it'll be 2 to go when we come back to the stripe. Blaine Keys has been the dominant truck here tonight, but Matthew Hubert took about 3/10 out that lap. If he takes another 3/10 out, this could be getting exciting, and we have seen for sure here. The draft is playing very key tonight, so don't count it out. And
this race is not over. That 52 is on fire.
Warming up the cameras. Are we warming up the cameras again to get the photo finish?
You might want to warm those cameras up. You might want to warm those cameras up. Hubert is closing fast in that number 52. Another good 3 and 4 here for the 52. He's going to be within striking distance as we come to the white flag. 1 lap to go here at the Chicagoland Speedway. Blaine Keys trying to hold on and nab his first win of the season. Matthew Hubert looking to win his second race in a row and looking to extend that championship lead. He's all over the back bumper of Keys. He's pinking to the inside down the backstretch. Here comes Hubert to the inside.
Just like last week.
It's just like last week all over again. Keys on the outside, Hubert on the inside. We're side by side. Coming through turns 3 and 4. It's going to be side by side to the line. Blaine Keys is going to edge him out, though. Blaine Keys wins the Menards 225 here at the Chicagoland Speedway. Just barely a car length over the 52 of Matthew Hubert. How about that?
Just like last week, they actually were side by side to the finish this time, though. Oh my goodness.
We've seen just about all night long Blaine Keys. He knows how to roll that top side. We saw him hold off the 52 of Hubert earlier on in the race on the outside lane. And he does it once again at the most crucial part of the race. And Blaine Keys, by just about a car length, finally nabs his first win of the season here in the Menards 225 here at the Chicagoland Speedway. What a crazy finish that was. What a crazy race that was here at the Chicagoland Speedway. My goodness. That was absolutely incredible.
I don't know how we keep getting this. I really don't know how we keep getting this. I mean, Michigan, I'm blanking because there's so much. Like, I feel like the last race we had that wasn't like a jaw-dropping finish was like Watkins Glen, and even if I recall, that was a pretty exciting race. New Hampshire was close. IRP wasn't a close race, but like Duncan Ward made it exciting just for funsies. Kansas was super exciting. Vegas, did we go to Vegas? I don't remember. There was somewhere else we went. Charlotte. Oh, we won Charlotte on the last lap pass.
Mm-hmm.
This has just been wild. This has been wild. I think I've seen about every type of finish, and yeah, happy for Blaine. He deserved that, and glad to see him back in front or back on top here. And yeah, I mean that was fun. Definitely feel a little bad for Matthew, but he's gonna extend his championship lead, and we're gonna have a really good day in the constructors and 3 races to go. And boy, this is gonna be fun. I'm excited. This is gonna be a lot of fun.
Absolutely. This has been an absolutely incredible season so far in the Turkey Hill Truck Series. Like you said, we've had so many great races, so many great moments, so many great finishes. Honestly, at this point, it's just kind of hard to keep track of everything, but my goodness, what a season this has been, and what a race this was at the Chicagoland Speedway, and this is definitely going to be interesting in the championship battle. Matthew Hubert still coming on with a good finish there in the second position, going to extend his points lead once again ever so slightly to the 11 of Andrew Williams, but once again, that 11 just right in the tire tracks, that 52 of Hubert, not letting him get away. So while Hubert will extend his championship lead, once again, it's not going to be by too much. So Andrew Williams still well within that championship battle here as we head into the final 3 races of the season. But man, you definitely have to give Blaine Keys some credit there. After he got to the race lead, he didn't look back there for that first part. Definitely had some competition there from the 52 of Matthew Hubert there in those last couple laps, but kept his cool. And like I said, a fantastic battle there on that last lap, but Keys was able to hold on there in that outside lane. And like I said, by just over a car length, finally nabbing his first win of the season. It's been long overdue for Keys, but he finally delivered here tonight in the Windy City. But what a race here at the Chicagoland Speedway. And looking over your official results here from Menards 225 here at the Chicagoland Speedway. Of course, Blaine Keys nabbing finally his first win of the season. And that's probably going to put him in a good spot in the all-time wins list as well. So definitely going to be interesting to see how that plays into that. But Matthew Hubert coming home there still with a second place finish. Andrew Williams rounds out your top 3. And I mean, just these 3 guys as a whole were on fire here tonight. Like I said, they absolutely pretty much gapped the rest of the field. And like I said, I think that really just goes to show how good Matthew Hubert and Andrew Williams has been especially, but honestly, just how good Blaine Keys is as well. Like I said, it's been long overdue there for the one of Blaine Keys. He's had speed a lot of times so far this season, and nice to finally see him get his first career win. And hey, with how fast that one car has been, who's to say that's going to be his first and only win this season? I think he could definitely maybe win one of these last 3 races as well. We'll have to see how it all plays out, but man, taking a look further on down your finishing results, Rogel Doran comes home in 4th, so overall a really great run there for your team, Matt. 1st and 4th there for your cars. That's really going to help y'all out there in the team championship as well. Emily Debonetti with a really good run comes home there with a top 5. Great stuff there for Debonetti, Zachary Fitzwater, and Hazel Arvin Alonso. Got Aaron Abel there coming home in the 6th position. Tyler Jericho, 7th. Thomas Troxel, 8th. Definitely have to give a call there to Heartland Enterprises there, 7th and 8th. That's also going to help them there in their team championship endeavors. But Bryce Egan going to bring home 9th. Logan Williams rounds out your top 10. Talking about Isaac Nichols earlier on the go, and coming from 36th on the grid to 15th. A solid run there for Isaac Nichols. Looking through your official results, Duncan Ward, unfortunately, 36th, 1 lap down. Really going to set him back in the championship battle, so a really tough break there for Duncan Ward. Like I said, not what he wanted to see. Nathan Stapleton was another one of those guys who I think made contact there under the pit lane and really set them behind the 8 ball, so a really tough break there for him as well. But it's all going to be jubilation in that one team camp for Blaine Keys. You all there over there at Celsius Team Velocity. What a race here from Chicagoland. What a win from Blaine Keys. And what a way to send us into the final 3 races of the 2025 Turkey Hill Truck Series season. So final thoughts, Matt. What do you think about tonight's race here from the Chicagoland Speedway? And what are you looking forward to as we head into these final 3 races of what has been a spectacular season of Turkey Hill Truck Series action?
I mean, it's been like I was saying, it's been a roller coaster in every single way. I mean, even the races that you look at and be like, oh, it wasn't as exciting. I mean, they still something has happened. I mean, IRP was not an exciting race. Duncan Ward had like a 5-second lead in like 10 laps, and we're all like, what the hell is going on? This has been incredible to watch start to finish, and it's going to be an incredible title fight. Martinsville, they're all going to have to go to Talladega. So, I mean, knock on wood, I hope for the top 2's sake that nothing goes wrong for them, but if something does, Blaine Keys could be there to pounce. Duncan Ward could get back into it. I mean, we all know what's going to go down at Homestead. If tonight was anything to show, Homestead for the season finale, if they're all within, striking distance of each other, that is going to be an unbelievable finale to end the season.
Absolutely. Definitely a lot to look forward to here as we head into the final 3 races of the season. It's definitely going to be a lot of fun, and like I said, I just cannot wait to see how it'll all end up shaking out. But thank you all so much for tuning in to tonight's coverage of the Menards 225 here at the Chicagoland Speedway. A huge thanks to Matt for joining me alongside up here in the booth. And next time out here for the Turkey Hill Truck Series, we'll be heading back to the short tracks for the final time this season. We're heading to the Martinsville Speedway for the Old Dominion 250 on Friday, December 5th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Once again, under the lights here in the Turkey Hill Truck Series. It's going to be a lot of fun going into the Martinsville Speedway. Like I said, that'll be going up Friday, December 5th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I definitely hope to see you all there. But once again, a huge thanks to Matt Tuck for joining me alongside up here in the booth, and a huge congratulations are in order for Blaine Keys and Celsius Team Velocity, your winners here from the Menards 225 here at the Chicagoland Speedway. Until next time, you all take care and have yourselves a good one. Here's your point standings after race number 15 of the season.